Have you ever been in a situation where you are speaking, but it feels like your words are just vanishing into thin air? It is a terrible feeling. You have a message, an idea, or a feeling deep inside you, but when you try to share it, it just doesn't land. It feels like there is a wall between you and the person you are trying to reach. But what if I told you that being heard isn't about magic? It's not a talent you're born with. It is a skill. And today, I am going to hand you the blueprint to master that skill so you never have to feel ignored again. Welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a life-changing book by John Maxwell called The 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication. The subtitle says it all. Apply them and make the most of your message. Whether you are speaking to one person or 1,000, the goal is the same. We all want to be understood. We want to share our ideas clearly, kindly, and with strength. So let's not waste a second. We're going to walk through the most critical laws from this book, step by step, using simple English so you can apply them immediately. The law of credibility. We start with the foundation of everything, the law of credibility. Before anyone listens to your words, they look at your life. Credibility simply means trust. Do your actions match your words? If they don't, your message dies before you even speak it. There's a famous story about Gandhi that explains this perfectly. A mother once brought her son to Gandhi and asked him, "Please tell my son to stop eating sugar." Gandhi looked at them and said, "Come back in 2 weeks." The mother was confused, but she left. 2 weeks later, they returned. Gandhi looked the boy in the eye and said, "Stop eating sugar." The mother asked, "Why didn't you say that 2 weeks ago?" Gandhi smiled and replied, "Because 2 weeks ago, I was still eating sugar." That is credibility. You have to live your message before you give your message. If you want people to listen, be honest. Be the person you are telling them to be. The law of observation. Once you understand trust, you need to learn how to improve. This brings us to the law of observation. Observation means watching carefully. If you want to master the art of effective communication, you must become a student of great speakers. Look at your favorite teachers, actors, or even YouTubers. Don't just watch them for entertainment. Analyze them. How do they use their hands? How do they pause? What makes you want to keep listening to them? It is just like learning the piano. You watch the masters, you see how they move, and then you practice. You don't have to copy them exactly, but you should borrow their good habits and make them your own. The law of connection. Now, let's move to perhaps the most important rule. You might be searching for how to speak so that people want to listen, and the answer lies entirely in the law of connection. John Maxwell says something very profound. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Connection is about shifting your focus. When you speak, stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about your listener. If you are talking to a student, talk about their dreams and exams. If you are talking to a parent, talk about family and time. When people feel that you understand them, they stop listening with just their ears and start listening with their hearts. That is true connection. The law of anticipation. Have you ever watched a movie trailer that made you say, "I have to see that film"? That is the law of anticipation. Anticipation means making people excited for what is coming next. A boring speaker gives everything away too quickly. A great speaker builds suspense. You want your audience to lean in. You can say something like, "Today, I'm going to tell you a story that completely changed my life." Immediately, the listener becomes curious. They want the reward. But remember, if you make them wait, you must deliver something good. Build the excitement and then give them a great payoff. The law of simplicity. Sometimes we think that using big, complicated words makes us sound smart. The law of simplicity tells us the exact opposite. If you want to be strong, be simple. Complexity creates confusion, but clarity creates understanding. If you can use a short word, use it. Don't say utilize, just say use. Don't say assist, just say help. Explain your ideas with easy examples. When you keep it simple, your message travels faster and stays in people's minds longer. The law of inclusion. Now, let's talk about making people feel welcome. This is the law of inclusion. Inclusion means bringing everyone in and leaving no one out. When you speak, try to change your language from I and me to we and us. Instead of saying, I know everything about this topic, say, let's learn this together. When you do this, the audience feels like they are part of the journey. It's like watching a movie where they see themselves as the main character. When people feel included, they feel respected and they listen more closely. The law of story. This next law is the secret weapon of all great communicators, the law of story. Facts go to the head, but stories go to the heart. If you tell someone exercise is important, they might forget it in 10 minutes. But if you tell them a story about a man who couldn't walk up the stairs, started running every day, and transformed his life to become a champion, they will remember that forever. Stories give your message a soul. They help people feel, imagine, and remember. So whenever you can, share a story from your life or someone else's. It brings your message to life. The law of visual expression. Did you know that people listen with their eyes? This is the law of visual expression. You cannot just tell your message, you have to show it. Your face, your hands, and your body are all tools. If you are talking about something happy, you must smile. If you are serious, your eyes should be focused. If your voice says, I am excited, but your face looks bored, people won't believe you. You can also use props or pictures. If you speak about hope, show a picture of a sunrise. Visuals stick in the brain much longer than just words. The law of feedback. Communication is not a one-way street. It is a circle. This is the law of feedback. Feedback means watching how people react to you. When you are speaking, look at the people. Are they nodding? Are they smiling? Or do they look confused? If they look lost, you need to slow down. If they look bored, you need to tell a story or ask a question. Good communicators are always listening, even while they are speaking. They adjust based on what they see. The law of preparation. Many people get nervous before they speak. The cure for nervousness is found in the law of preparation. A great talk begins long before you open your mouth. If you prepare well, you feel confident. If you wing it, you will feel scared and you might forget your best ideas. Maxwell says, every great speaker practices many times. They know their topic, they know their audience, and they know their goal. If you want to succeed, do the work beforehand. Plan, practice, and be ready. The law of humility. Authenticity wins over perfection. This is the law of humility. Humility doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are honest. Don't try to impress people by acting perfect. People love speakers who are real. If you make a mistake, admit it. If you learned a lesson the hard way, share that struggle. When you are humble, you remove the barrier between you and the listener. They trust you more because they see you are a real human being, just like them. The law of conviction. If you don't believe what you are saying, nobody else will. This is the law of conviction. Conviction is a strong belief in your heart. People can feel your energy. If you say, you can achieve your dreams, but your voice is flat and cold, it means nothing. But if you speak with fire and true belief, your words gain power. You have to feel it to heal it. You have to believe it to sell it. The law of expectation. Finally, we have the law of expectation. This law is about your attitude toward your audience. Expect the best from them. If you think your audience is bored or unintelligent, they will act that way. But if you believe they are smart, kind, and ready to learn, your energy will change the room. Communication is like a mirror. What you give out, you get back. So, smile, bring good energy, and expect good things to happen. Conclusion and legacy. Ultimately, all of these laws lead to one thing: legacy. Legacy is the good you leave behind when you are gone. When you speak with kindness, honesty, and courage, your words can help people for years to come. Every time you open your mouth, ask yourself, will this help someone? Will this make their life better? If the answer is yes, you are building a legacy. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the laws of communication. I hope you feel ready to share your message with the world. If you found value in this video, please hit that like button. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe to English Glow for more lessons that help you shine. I'm Tom. Stay curious, stay strong, and keep learning. Bye for now.